Hey guys, what is up? Today I'm going to go through a really simple, actually an interesting method I thought for predicting the price of Moonbeam, Acala and Astar. And obviously going forward looking at how their dot rewards from the crowd loans might compare using these price predictions. So the way I'm going to do it is look at Sakura and Clover Finance. And the reason to do this is because with Clover, you obviously have the DOT token in existence before it actually wins the Parachain auction. And with Sakura, you have the Kusama token. With other projects, mostly you have just the Kusama token in existence for the Canary network. And in the case of Affinity, you just have the DOT token. They didn't launch on Kusama. So what I thought would be interesting, and this came through as well discussions in our Telegram group, which is there if you guys want to join it and join in on the discussion and weigh in on your thoughts here. Because it is something I'd appreciate, that 161 million is the fully diluted value of Sakura. In the case of Clover Finance, it's 832 million, and that's what you'd expect, right? The DOT project worth significantly more than the Kusama one. The ratio of these fully diluted values is 5.17 to 1. So Clover worth 5.17 times what Sakura is. And in terms of why I use fully diluted valuation, I think using circulating supply or current market cap is kind of a bit dangerous in terms of projects are at very different stages of their release schedules, right? So at least here you have something, it's like this is what it is when all the tokens are out. So if we use this 5.17 going forward and looked at all the other projects, where would we be sitting in terms of valuations, price, and dot rewards? Well, if we take Moonbeam and Moon River, 5.17 equates to 10.35 billion because the fully diluted valuation of Moon River is 2 billion-ish. 5.17 times that equates to 10.35 billion, which at initial total supply means $10.35 per token. And by the end of the rewards they had, or by the end of the crowd loan, they had raised 35.8 million DOT, or they had it bonded to their crowd loan, and that equated to 4.19 Glimmer tokens, which at the price of 10.35 would mean you were getting kind of $43-ish per DOT staked, which is actually higher than the price of DOT at the minute, which is nuts. And as well, 30% of these were available to claim immediately, which in terms of these price predictions, or this model for looking at what they might be worth, I think initially we could see surges in price well beyond this as circulating supply is low, and price and hype and FOMO might be high in the market to get into these things for people who didn't do the crowd loan or didn't get involved in the token sales. So yeah, I do think perhaps it'll settle, and maybe this ratio of Sakura and Clover is something we can look at going forward. So 30% available to claim immediately, which is great, and 70% vesting over the course of the 96-week period. With Acala and Karura, we're looking at a fully diluted valuation of 340 million on Karura. 5.17 times this would lead you to a 1.75 billion fully diluted valuation for Acala. There's 1 billion total Acala tokens, so that means $1.75 per token. Pretty easy maths there. And Acala won the auction with 32.5 million DOT staked, and this equated to a reward of 5.2 Acala per DOT, or just over 5.23, and this would mean a reward of just over $9 per DOT, with just over 20% of that available to claim immediately and the 80% vesting over the 10-week period or 96-week period. And there was a 10% bonus, 5% to the referee, 5% to the referrer. So according to this model, like the Moonbeam crowd loan, far more incentive there at more than $40 per DOT stake compared to just over $9 for Karura. But let's look forward at Astar and Scheiden and see what that one looks like as well. With Scheiden, we have a fully diluted market cap of $131 million. If you 5.17x this, you get to 682 million, so just below 682 million, just below 700 million, which would be the predicted price for Astar. There are 7 billion total Astar tokens, so you'd be looking at just below 10 cent per token. And the DOT auction ended with 10.3 million DOT staked or bonded, and that led to 102 Astar tokens being distributed for every dot, which meant that you were looking at just over $10 per dot staked. On the downside here, only 10% was available to claim immediately, with 90% unlocked linearly over the 22 months. But there were 20% bonus if you joined before the end of auction 1, and 10% bonus if you participated in the Plasm, which is the old name for it, on Lock Drop or the Scheiden crowd loan. So some bonuses there to be had as well. And I know there were bonuses throughout all the auctions, but if I went through each and every one, it would be an incredibly long and boring video to kind of, you know what I mean, go through every little bit of that. With Clover and the other crowd loans, we aren't finished yet, so we don't know exactly how many tokens will be distributed per dot staked. But to give you an idea of how Clover looks at the minute, it's at around 82 cents last I checked. And with 16.67, when you get to 12 million dot, sorry, let me just check there with Clover. So there are 3.6 million, 4 million dot bonded to Clover at the minute. So you're looking at actually 50 Clover per dot currently, which equates to, again, over $40. But obviously, you would have to look at, you know, what the level you think of dot coming into that will be. So that's kind of, yeah, the idea of the video, guys. Please give us a sub if you're still here and appreciate the content, and if you want to join the discussion on Polkadot as well as many other early stage projects and opportunities that we just don't have time to make videos on all of them, please hit us up on Telegram and, you know, pop over for the chat and add weight and value to the discussion yourself. Cheers, lads, appreciate your time, and I'm out.